Welcome back to the Happy Hour, guys. We are here today in Fawn Grove, Pennsylvania, to bring to you the story of South County Brewing, one of our favorite new breweries new to us. They're doing some amazing work here in southern Pennsylvania. Can't wait for you to get to know more about them. We're going to try some of their newest beers and come along for the ride. Cheers.
My name is J.R. Heaps. I am the head brewer and managing partner of South County Brewing.
We get around, we taste a lot of beer, and I think it's safe to say that this is one of those breweries that really piqued our interest, got us excited. The first time we tried your beer. Tell us a little bit about how you became a brewer, what your background is, and what led you here.
I'm native to Southern York County for the most part. I've been here for almost 18 years. Lived just over the line here in Maryland, which you can actually see from the brewery window here. That's how close we are to Maryland.
And that's soy growing in the field next door. And we're pretty sure this is the first time we've ever had beer outdoors sitting next to a soy field. In fact, we came back a couple weeks later and the soy had been harvested, the field had been plowed, and you could see for miles. It was actually quite lovely.
So, I did construction with my dad. I was a janitor at my own high school. While I was at high school, all these, I was always about working and, I always had to pay for everything I wanted and whatnot. And so I didn't get into beer until later in life. 2008 happened, the market pushed out, a lot of stuff kind of crashed for everybody. And I started kind of home brewing around that time period, which was nothing more than on my honeymoon at the time. We were at a gourmet food shop and had one of those little Mr. Beer plastic root beer.
We've all had one.
Yeah. And I'm pretty technically inclined. Me and my dad, we built this whole building. We built our first bottling line, very engineered,
Yeah.
So I made the kit, heard the instructions, and it just wasn't good at all. And I thought, okay, I don't think I botched it that bad. And then I read for a week and I thought, holy crap, this is a whole nother animal, Well, that was the day. And not trying to, make it too short, but literally it was, 8 years later and suddenly I was running a brewery. Just one thing led to another, and then I was hanging at breweries and ended up going to see one in Chicago and interning, and Trogs has been nice enough to let me come up in Shadow. So my parents own the property here, and we said, well, what better place to do it? It's some of the only industrial commercial property around, and so we just went through the very lengthy process of getting it kind of set up, and I was homebrewing in the background and working a day job and doing this, and then finally July 1st of 2011 we poured our first beer, which was an amber, which we no longer make, sadly. But market kind of determines what pays the bills, and at least for us here, right
of course.
now. So
yeah, you're enjoying some incredible popularity right now.
I think so. It's especially within the last year and a half, we've kind of delved into some non-traditional stuff. Proliferation of everybody getting into heavy dry hopping and hazy beers and all this new stuff we're seeing. I was reluctant at first to get into it because if you had a hazy beer 5 years ago that wasn't a wheat beer, you almost got laughed at, or oh my God, what'd you do?
And being a lazy brewer, you're not. Yeah.
And then it's almost flipped on its head to where clear beer actually turns some people off. Yeah. And we managed to kind of capture a flavor or a profile that we feel is unique, even in such a robust market of beers.
Yeah. And people definitely respond to your beer. The one, because it's what I had the most of, the one that I've been sharing with people is the Sound Machine, which is your APA, right, or an extra pale
ale, and that quite honestly was born out of the fact that we had thousands of pounds of Cascade that needed to go somewhere, and Cascade's kind of like, it's an old hop. It's an old, Sierra Nevada, everybody knows it, piney, citrusy, whatever. So we're like, well, how do we take this hop and bring it into the profile that everybody likes now, so we combine it with Bravo and El Dorado. Relatively simple beer to brew, wheat, oat, lactose sugar to it, and all of a sudden this kind of creation was born that blew us away with the yeast that we use, and just how awesome that beer turned out, and it's kind of captured some attention. So
absolutely,
and we're out of stock of it now. So
oh no,
those empty coolers are just a sign of how popular this brewery is becoming. Their can releases are becoming events, drawing crowds from far and near, and seeing lines through the parking lot hours before the brewery even opens.
Which is great, but you don't have time to dial this stuff in. And with beers that are this specific, and with beers that have kind of the allure that these type of beers have, we want to make sure they're perfect, because we did a test batch of this and the coconut was almost too strong. It came on like oily, heavy at the end, so we upped the pineapple, brought the coconut down, adjusted some mash temperatures, and just dialed it in to where, to me, it's just straight up like gelato, pina colada ice cream that melted and then you carbonated it, and that's kind of for 8% too. I mean, it's not like
This is 8%? It tastes like you're having a glass of juice. I mean, it's delicious beer juice. So it's been a few years since I spent this much time in Pennsylvania, and there were breweries before, but now that it seems like there's a real community.
There's definitely like a revitalization in general, and just local interest in local farm markets, all this other stuff. And I think the biggest help has been retailers that cater specifically to specialty beer or craft beer. And so having those outlets where people can very easily get access to some of the best brands across the country, kept cold and fresh. And there's been a lot of progressive law changes here in Pennsylvania where it's one of the best states to do business in as a brewer, and that's where I think we're pretty proud to be like the fourth, including Yingling and some of the bigger regionals. We're fourth by volume in the country. I think right now. Overall, it's just awesome. So you can come to Pennsylvania, and from right here, within 50 minutes, I think you can hit like 20 or 30 different breweries.
That's
now.
amazing.
And that includes Maryland, and everybody has such a different texture and a different feel. It's just awesome.
South County has a number of beer series that you should keep an eye out for, including their Interval series, which explores different hop varieties and alternate grains, and their Gelato series, which is a culinary approach to brewing. They use fresh purees, spices, and specialty ingredients to create different flavor profiles. In the past, they've done strawberry, lemon, pineapple, coconut. Right now, there's a peach mango, and I guarantee you there are surprises on the way. And there's so much more than that. Double IPAs, barrel-aged series, porters. Let's just say there's a reason I live 3.5 hours away and am quickly becoming a regular.
We're actually some of the first people to be having this beer. It's one of the new beers that you're premiering this weekend.
So this beer is called Spectral Focus, and we've kind of dubbed it or termed it a New England style lager. It starts its life as a Helles lager base, so just Pilsner malt. I mean, that's all that's in the malt bill. A little bit of step mashing to coax some more flavor out of that malt. What we're trying to do is we're trying to show people that lagers need love too. They're not these old boring styles anymore. Most brewers you talk to, we go on and on about the beauty of a traditional Helles or Pilsner. So what we wanted to do was create a beer that marries those two worlds of very late whirlpool, heavy dry hopping, softer water chemistry, but with a lager background, and then bring them together. And you get this beautiful clarity and almost pleasant starkness to the beer, but then you get this rounded flavor profile. Great berry and citrus tones, and more complexity out of a single malt than most people would think you could cook.
Believe it or not, there actually are elk in Pennsylvania, which is not something we knew before we visited South County. This particular one seems to have a few different names, but the one we heard most often is Buck, so we're going to go with that, and Buck keeps an eye over the entire brew floor, just to make sure things go well. They don't serve food at South County Brewing, but you are more than welcome to bring in whatever it is you want to eat. And if you haven't planned ahead, there's a grill just across the parking lot that serves pizza and burgers and sandwiches, and you can order there and bring it in, or just walk across the parking lot and help yourself.
And now people, thankfully like you, are just letting their creativity take them wherever it
Admittedly,
leads.
we even fought it for a little bit because I was so steeped in tradition, and you always need to have that rule set to adhere to make sure you're making quality beer. But then you say, you know what, we can do this stuff that maybe was frowned upon, or I don't know, it had this stigma to it. And it's like, but if you do it extremely well, we try to really say, if it's going to be, pineapple coconut, this is the absolute perfect blend, enjoyability, drinkability, manifestation of what those elements mean. So when you see the can, that's exactly what you're drinking.
What's in your fridge at home?
My fridge at home.
Or do you even need that beer in your fridge?
I have to say that right now the mobile canner we use, Ninth Planet, he does a lot of work in New York. So at home I have LIC Beer Project, Finback, which we love. I mean, if there's another brewery that I think has a profile that mirrors ours, or at least when I drink it, it kind of has like a very familiar tone. Finback does some really awesome stuff.
There's room for you to grow.
Yeah, I mean,
built into this building.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely always, you need more space. It's amazing how, when I built this place, 4,000 square feet, I thought, oh my God, how am I ever going to fill it? And now we literally play Tetris with our shipments, raw materials and stuff, because the can line's going to be coming in, and but we're staged for more tanks. The building was built specifically for beer, from three-phase power to everything. So ideally, I think we could probably push 3,000 barrels, and then at that point, we're going to have other logistical issues that we'll have to get into.
Right.
So. But I think we're sized well for now, just to hunker down and rock and roll. So,
all I can say is, wherever you are, whenever you see South County Brewing, their product anywhere, get it, drink it, share it with your friends. And if you're ever lucky enough to see any of their Gelato series, I'm only saying this because we're trying it right now. If we were trying one of the Interval series, I'd be saying the same thing about the Interval. But if you see some of the Gelato series, get it, share it, drink it, enjoy it, because this is beer in America in the year 2017.
It's fun.
And it's
exciting.
I cannot wait to see where you guys go from here. I think it's only going to be, onward and upward.
And there actually are elk in Pennsylvania, which is something we did not know before we visited South County Brewing and met elks.